So today, I want us to focus on present perfect. It's a continuation of what we learned yesterday, actually. And from the learning that we had yesterday, the present perfect looks specifically at the situation now. Okay? How is the situation now? How is it now? How is it now? So study this example conversation now. Have you traveled a lot, Jane? And Jane say, yes, I have been to lots of places. Remember yesterday we said that there's a big difference between gone and been. Gone, when you say I have gone, it means you are not here. When I say Abdurrahman has gone, it means he is not here. Okay? Don't say I have gone to China and you are here sitting down here and you're saying I have gone to China. No. When you say I have gone, it means you are not here. Abdi has gone, meaning he is not here. So what do we say now? You normally say been. You can say I have been to China, means that there's a time that you went to China, but now you've come back, you're around. I have been to Havgoye, meaning there's a day you went there, but of course you are now here. You are now here. You are now here. You are now here. My sister has been to Germany, meaning there's a time that she went to Germany, but of course now she came back. That is a big difference between been and gone. So when you hear someone says, yes, I have been to lots of places. I have been to Mombasa. I have been to Malindi. I have been to Kismayo. I have been to. So I have been tells us that the places that you once went, but of course you are back. You are no longer there. But if someone says I have gone or someone has gone, that person is there, that place now. Aisha has gone to Mogadishu. So as I'm talking now, where is she now? In Mogadishu. She is not here. So if you tell me, teacher, I have gone to Mogadishu, I'll tell you, it's not true, you are here. How can you say I have gone to Mogadishu and you are here? Say, I have been to Mogadishu. I have been tells me that there's a day, of course, that you went there, but now you are back.
Teacher.
Yes.
Sorry for
Yes.
interruption, but what means I had? Is it plural? Well, can I use when it's plural? I had been.
Oh, for example, had been like this, had been like that.
Yeah.
Now, had been is called the past perfect. This one is past perfect. This one is not present perfect. Present is only have, has been.
Okay.
Had been, we'll come and see that later. Don't worry, okay?
Okay.
Like, for example, we are here now. This is now. This is maybe last week.
So had is what past?
It's called past perfect. These are things that happen in the past and finished in the past. They don't come to the present. Okay? Like you can say, for example, Siad Barre had been the president. From he had been ruling Somalia from 1970 to 1991. So 1970 is here, 1991 is here. So that time up to here is had. But if you say from here coming to the present, we say have. Abdullah Farmajo has been the president of Somalia. Yeah, from 2017 up to now. So we say has been. But had been does not come to the present. We'll see that when we reach there. That is unit 15. Are we together?
Okay.
Yes, don't worry about that one. Had will come that later. So have you traveled a lot, Jane? And Jane say, yes, I have been to lots of places. You see, I have been. And you know, they're together. They're sitting down together and talking. And then Dave say, really? Have you ever been to China? And Jane say, yes, I have been to China twice. Yeah, so meaning Jane went to China and came back. Yeah, she's here now. In fact, she's with Dave now. What about India? And Jane say, no, I haven't been to India. I have not been to India. So when you hear someone saying, have you ever, have you ever, it's in your life. Have you ever eaten a crocodile's meat? And Muhammad will say, no, I have never eaten, meaning from the time he was born up to now. So I have never eaten from that time up to now. Aisha, have you ever beaten an old person? And you say, no, I have never beaten anybody who is old. I have never eaten maybe black mangoes. I have never seen a green aeroplane. You see that? I have never, meaning in your life, from the time you are born up to now. So when we talk about a period of time that continues from the past until now, from that time in the past until now, we use the present perfect. Okay? I have been to China. I have been to Senegal. I have been to Kenya many times, you see? Meaning from the time you were born until now. Here, Dave and Jane are talking about the places Jane has visited in her life, which is a period that continues until now, because you are not dead. So it continues until now. In the same way, you can say, have you ever eaten caviar? Have you ever eaten crocodile's meat? So meaning in your life, from the time you were born until now, we have never had a car. Remember, this had is the past tense of have, to have a car. I have never had a car, meaning in your life, from the time you were born up to now, you've never bought. So you are just only using a bicycle. I don't know what the film is about. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen from that time even up to now. Susan really loves that book. She has read it 3 times. You see, she has read 3 times, meaning she read the first time, finished, and then another time, finished, and then another time, finished. So she has read. So how many completed times? 3. So she has read it 3 times. Yeah, she has read it 3 times. It is a really boring movie. It is the most boring movie I have ever seen. Yeah, it is the most boring movie I have ever seen. It is the most boring movie I have ever seen. When I say I have ever seen, it means in my life, from the time I was born, from the time I started watching movies up to now. So, yes. Another meaning of been, when you say been plus the word to, it means visited. I have never been to Canada, meaning visited. I have never visited Canada. Have you been there? You see that? So when you see the word been plus to, it means visited. Have you ever been to Tokyo? Have you ever been to Korea? Have you ever been to Djibouti? So you can say, I have never been to Djibouti, meaning I have never visited. So don't confuse that. Now, in the following examples too, the speakers are talking about a period that continues until now. So anytime that continues until now is always present, Yeah. You see what's like recently. Recently means not far from now. In the last few days is also not far from now. So far means up to now. And don't confuse so far. When you see so far, I think that Kismayu is so far. No, that's a different meaning. When I say so far, it means until now. Like now if I ask you, how is your job so far? You'll say, so far, so good. So far, everything is okay. So far means up to now, yes. Yes, you get a new job, you work for 3 weeks. I come and visit you, I ask you, how is your job so far? How is your job up to now? You say, so far, so good. So far, everything is okay. So far means up to now. Another one also is since I arrived, since I came here. I have never eaten since I came here. Yes, I have never bought a book since I arrived, since I came, since I saw him. You see that? So since always comes up to now. Why? For example, I have been in Kenya since last year. So when I say since last year, it means last year up to now. I have never eaten since morning. Since morning means from morning until now. So every time you see the word since, It is present perfect. It goes together with present perfect. I have never done this since I came to Kenya. I have never played football since I came to Nairobi. Meaning from that time up to now, up to now, up to now. So if you look at these examples, have you heard anything from Ben recently? Like 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, or some few days, not long from now. I have met a lot of people in the last few days. You see, the last few days is not from now, it's not very many days ago, maybe 2 days, 3 days ago. Yeah, not far from now. Everything is going well. There haven't been any problems so far. So far means up to now. Yeah. And people normally like saying, so far, so good. So far, so good. Meaning there's no problem at all. The weather is bad here. It has rained every day from that time up to now, since I arrived. When you say since I arrived, meaning from that time up to today. So from when I arrived until now, that is the meaning of since I arrived. It is good to see you again. We haven't seen each other for a long time. We have not seen each other for a long time. For a long time means from that time up to now. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a long time. Yeah, so that is the idea. In the same way, we use the present perfect with today. Remember this present. So present, today, this evening, this year, like we did yesterday for those who are not there. Do you know that today is present? Even this week from Sunday up to now, Tuesday, this is also present. When I say this week, means from the beginning of the week up to now, because we are in this week. Even this month, yeah, this month, from the time it started from first up to now, this is present. Even this year, 2021, from 2021 beginning, the first day of January up to now is also present because we're in the current year. This is the year we are in. I haven't seen Mohamud this year. I haven't met Abdullah this year. You see, I haven't met. I haven't, why? Because I'm talking about the present situation, the present, from that time until now. So, ladies and gentlemen, every time I talk about something that started somewhere and continues until the present time, until the present time here. So this one is what you call the present perfect. So in the same way, we use the present perfect with things like today, this evening, this year, you know, when these periods are not finished at the time of speaking. When I say, for example, I haven't eaten today, it means the day has not finished. I haven't seen Mahmoud. I have not seen him this week. It means this week has not ended. But as soon as the week ends, you don't say, I have not seen him this week, and the week is finished. You can say now, last week. I didn't, it was simple past. I didn't see him last week. Okay, I didn't see him. I did not see him last week. Yes, so that's that. Yeah, so next. Example, I have drunk 4 cups of tea today. Maybe it's not even 4 o'clock now. So you see, I have drunk 4 cups of tea today, meaning from the time the day began up to now. And remember, the day has not finished. Maybe it's now 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, or maybe 6 o'clock. We're still today. So I'm looking at the time from the beginning up to now. Yeah, the day has not ended. The day is not finished as I'm speaking. But if the day ends like midnight, I will not say I have drunk now 4 cups of tea today. No, the day is past. So I'll now say I drank. It becomes simple past. I will now say I drank 4 cups of tea today. Have you had a holiday this year? You see, have you had a holiday this year? Have you had a holiday this year? That's a question. Have you had? Remember, had is the past participle. Remember, all present perfect, you have to have the past participle. Have you had a holiday this year? Have you had a holiday? Remember, had is the participle of have, to have something. So have you had this year? Have you had a holiday? Meaning beginning from January up to now. I want to know whether you've had a holiday. I haven't seen Tom this evening. I haven't seen Tom this evening. Have you? I haven't seen Tom this evening. Have you? I haven't seen. So this morning, when I say this morning, it means I'm still in the morning. Yeah. I have not seen him this morning. Okay. I have not seen him this morning. Yeah. So when you say I have not seen Tom this morning, it means I am now in this morning. Yeah. So from the time you woke up to now, it is still morning. Because this is the time I am, this is the present time. Now, so that is all you need to know about present perfect up to that line. So in summary, we are saying that present perfect are normally used to show us things that from the time you were born up to now, the tense you're going to use is what? Present perfect. For example, if it is about traveling, because people travel, you can say, and it can be positive or negative. I have been to Uganda. I have been to. You see, you're telling us in your present life because you are not dead. From the time you are born, of course, continues up to now. If it is negative, I have never eaten. Mira, I have never chewed. Mira, in my life, I have never done this. I have never been.
Teacher, what about has?
What about?
Has.
Yes, has is only for he, for she, and for it. Like now, Aisha. Aisha has never been to Germany. Nasra has never eaten the legs of a chicken. Mohammed has never been to Korea. So can you see has is possible when it is he or she or it. So you hear me saying I have because I, we, you, they. You have to put a have. Yeah, and of course the past participle. Is that okay?
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Very good. Now, that is number A. Number B tells us that present perfect, of course, it talks about now. So not only now, but there are some things when you say, it looks like it's not far from now. For example, recently. So recently shows it is so close to now. In the last few days, you see, it's not far from now. So far means up to now. Since I arrived is, of course, present time now. Because we arrived, since I arrived. Meaning from that time up to now. I have been in Kampala since April. So when you say since April, it means as you are talking now, you are where? In Kampala. You cannot say I have been in Kenya since Monday and you are not in Kenya. It's not possible, okay? It's not possible. So that is that. So that is what I want us to understand. And don't forget present perfect also. You can say today, I have not eaten anything this evening. I have not seen him this year. Because we are in this year, we are in this evening, we are today. These are the present names. Can I now go to number C now? C is a bit different, but it is something that is very important for us to know. You know, sometimes when you talk with people, people tell you that this is the first time, this is the second time, this is the third time, this is the fourth time. You know, people talk like that. So every time you are giving like this is the first, this is the second, this is the third, this is the fourth, this is the fifth. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we use the present perfect. Okay? Like if you meet Muhammad in Dar es Salaam, you tell him, oh, Muhammad, you mean you know Dar es Salaam? He says, yes, this is my home. This is the second time I have been here. And then you say, no, me, this is the first time I have come. And then you travel, you meet Nasra, taking some food in London. You find her eating maybe vegetables and maybe and the head of a chicken. You'll tell her, huh? You mean you hit the head of a chicken? You say, yeah, there's no food in this place that is good. No pasta. So actually, I'm eating this for the first time. I mean, this is the first time I have eaten the head of a chicken. She says, I have, because she's saying the first. And then you find Shams also running a marathon. You meet her, she's running very well. You tell her, you mean you are a runner? She says, yes. This is the 5th time I have been running. This is the 10th time I have come here. And then you meet Muhammad. Muhammad is always coffee. You tell Muhammad, I saw you in the morning taking coffee. And then again, I saw you again at 2 o'clock taking coffee. Muhammad says, yes, I like coffee very much. In fact, this one I'm taking here, this is the 6th cup I have taken today. Why is he saying I have taken? Because the 6th. So every time you count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your life, or maybe today, or maybe this week, we say, this is the first time I have seen her. This is the 3rd time I have come to Nairobi. This is the 4th time he has called me. Who is this calling me? This guy called me 3 times in town, and then he called me 4 times on the road. Now he has called me 3 times, total 7. So this is the 7th time. This is the 7th time he has called me. This is the 7th time he has called me. So every time you are saying the 1st or the 2nd or the 3rd, please use the present perfect. So that is what number C is telling us. And let me confirm. Look, we say it is the first time something has happened. We use has happened. For example, Don is having a driving lesson. It is his first lesson. We can say it is the first time he has driven a car. And you can see him here is learning to drive. Look, he says, this is the first time I have driven a car. This is the first time he has driven a car. Okay. So he has never driven a car before. So this is the first time he has driven. In the same way, we can say, Sarah has lost her passport again. Okay. Sarah has lost her passport again. So this is the 2nd time this has happened. You see, this is the 2nd time. This is the 2nd time this has happened. So we must use present perfect, has happened. Andy is phoning his girlfriend again. It is the 3rd time he has phoned her this evening. Yeah, it is the 3rd time he has phoned her this evening. Yeah, it is the 3rd time he has phoned her this evening. I don't know why. Maybe the girlfriend is new. Or maybe they broke together. Maybe the girlfriend said, I don't want, again, I want to stop, I want to start first. So now this man called Andy called and then called and then called. So it is the 3rd time he has what? He has phoned this evening. Yep. Today, we're going to look at something also very important in everyday communication, where we learn to request things from people. We learn to invite, invite when for you have a wedding or a maybe celebration, you can also invite people to come over. And then also when people are in a meeting, in a conference, it's always good for them to know how to suggest, to give suggestions. You don't simply say, we do this. No, sometimes you suggest. So there is a polite way of saying that this is like this. I suggest we do that. So let's see. So we begin with the request. How do we request? How do we give a request? Now, notice that the phrases get longer when the requests get bigger. If, for example, I want a pen from Mohammed, I'll simply say, Mohammed, help me with your pen, just like that. But if I want to borrow an expensive laptop from Mohammed, I will not say, Mohammed, help me a laptop. No, It will look like, okay, and this laptop is expensive, you know. That's not how to, even a car. I want to borrow Shamsi a car. I'll say, hey Shamsi, help me your car. In the same way, like I'll ask for a pen. No, with borrowing a car from her, that's something very expensive. So I really need to be very formal, you know, very polite indeed, and really say something. So have a look at this. If you want, for example, salt, you are sitting on a table. This is a table in a restaurant. You are sitting here, another person is sitting here, and the salt is here. So this salt is far away from you. So you want to ask this guy, to request this guy to pass these salts like this at least. So you see, could you, you know, could is a very polite word. Eh? Could you come tomorrow? Could you pass me the salt? Could you pass me that salt? Excuse me, could you pass me that salt? Very polite. And the person sitting there will say, yeah, sure. And remember, sure is like, oh, yes, yes, yes. Not sure, like, are you sure? No. Okay. Could you help me with your pen? You say, yeah, sure. Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, sure. Meaning, okay, it's okay. This is only salt in a restaurant. But when you borrow a dictionary now, you know, a dictionary is something different, belongs to you. And so could I possibly borrow your dictionary? You see that? It's very polite. Could I possibly borrow your dictionary? Like there's a big manager somewhere and you want to go and see him in the morning at 8 o'clock. But you cannot tell him, can I see you at 8 o'clock? He's a big manager. So what do? You ask, excuse me, I was asking if you could possibly allow me to come and see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. You see, could I possibly come at 8? You see, very polite indeed. Could I possibly come at 6? You see, could I possibly, don't say, let me come at 6. I come at 6. People tell you, no, I'm busy. But when you say, could I possibly call you at 6? Could I possibly pass there in your office? Could I possibly? That person will say, oh, yes. So could I possibly borrow your dictionary? And this man say, yes, help yourself. Help yourself means, okay, take it. Yeah, take it. Now, you thought this was very long, eh? Could I possibly borrow your dictionary? You see, could I possibly? This could I possibly? See, this was could you? This is could I possibly? Now, there is now one that is going to be very long. Could you see? Do you think I want to borrow Nasra what? An iPhone 13. I'm going for a party and I want people to see me with an iPhone 13. And of course, you know, she's using it. So I really have to really beg to her to help me. So I'll go and tell her, excuse me, Nasra, do you think you could possibly lend me your iPhone 13? Do you think you could possibly go with us? That is so polite, isn't it? Do you think, do you think you could possibly, you can put possibly also. If you don't want to put possibly, it's still optional. That's why they put in brackets. Do you think you could, but if you want to make it more polite, you have to put the word possibly, to show possibility. Not that you are forcing, but you're only requesting whether it is possible. Do you think you could possibly lend me 2 or 3 pounds? This is money. So you really have to be polite here now. Do you think you could possibly lend me 2 or 3 pounds? And we say, yeah, sure. But not all people have the money to give. Some people don't have the money at that time. So you can also say, no, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid I can't. Or I'm afraid not. So when you say I'm afraid, afraid is not fear. Afraid has 2 meanings. Afraid means sorry. Maybe you don't know. I know afraid means to fear. Like I'm afraid of lions. I'm afraid of darkness. But here is not darkness. Here is not even anything. It is sorry. If you ask me for a book, I'll say, oh, I'm afraid. If you come looking for Shams, I'll say, oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid she's not there. I'm afraid means I'm sorry. I haven't got any money on me or with me, okay? Aha. If you don't use this one, do you think you could possibly, there's another one also here. I was wondering if I could possibly leave work half an hour early today. Shamsi works for a big company and the big manager there is Nasra. So now Shamsi goes, excuse me. And Nasra say, yes, how can I help you? You say, I was wondering if I could possibly leave work half an hour earlier today. You know, you leave work at 5 o'clock, but now you're asking the boss if you can leave at 4:30 because there's some shughuli, there's some activities you want to do. So look at how you're going to request. I was wondering, but when you say I was wondering, it shows that you are really not really of the idea that you want to go by force. You want to see whether someone will help you consider that. So I was wondering if I could. I was wondering if I could possibly leave work half an hour early today. And the boss, if there is no work to be done, the boss can tell you, yeah, no problem. But if there's a lot of work to be done in the company, of course, the boss will not let you go. You'll say, well, it's a bit difficult. Actually, because there's a lot of work to be done, look, you don't say, no, go back to work. Show also that there's some work to be done. You see, it's a bit difficult, actually, because there's some, when you explain like that, also even the person will also see the sense, But if you say, no, go away, they will say you're a bad manager. So, well, it's a bit difficult, actually, because at the moment we have few, there's a problem with these, and you'll understand. So, in our next lesson, I want people to practice this. Everybody will request someone in a very polite way. So when we meet tomorrow, inshallah, Shamsa will ask, Mohammed will ask, Nasra will ask, and all the other guys will ask. So plan some how to request. I was wondering if I could go early today. Do you think we could step there? And then invitations and supplies. The lady says, would you like to go out this evening? And the man says, yeah, great. Or you can say, yeah, I would love to. He's very happy. But if the man is busy, also the man can say, I'm sorry, I can't. You see that? Look at this man. We are going to a restaurant and we were wondering if you would like to come with us. There are some ladies who are serious, so don't tell them, we're going to a restaurant, we want to take you. And I will say, no, I'm not going. But when you tell her, we're going to a restaurant and we were wondering if you would like to come with us. So the lady can, maybe when she's busy, of course, she would say, well, I would love to, you see, I would love to, but I'm afraid I can't. I have got to write an essay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, this lady will say she would love to go, yes, but she's sorry, but I'm afraid I can't. Yeah, so learn to say things like this. So if you go asking Nasra for iPhone 13, she would say, well, I would have really given you, but I'm afraid I can't. I have so many calls to make tomorrow. Yeah, with this phone here. Yeah, so that's that. Or I have got a class to attend. So I'm actually using this phone. So it won't be possible at the moment. Now, and then suggestions are ideas for things to do or things to say or things to make. For example, asking for suggestions. You have two friends. You tell your friend, what shall we do tonight? Where shall we go this evening? You see, the word shall, very, very, very important for asking or suggestions. What do you fancy doing? Fancy is like want or love to do. Yes. Yes. What do you fancy doing? Make suggestions. How about like now, I'm very bored, and someone tells you, how about going to the cinema? Or what about going to what about going to town? What about doing that? How about coming tomorrow? How about waiting for her? How about calling her? Yes, things like that. Perhaps we could just get a pizza or something like that. You see, perhaps we could, you're giving suggestions. Where are we going for lunch today? Perhaps we could go to Java. Perhaps we could call Naima. Yeah. Why don't we, all these are ways of when you have friends making suggestions, you can use like this. We are looking for a place to visit this year. Muhammad says, how about going to Borama? And Nasra say, perhaps we could go to Mount Surat. Shamsa says, why don't we go to Malindi? You see, why don't we go to Malindi? Do you fancy going to Italian restaurants? Do you like? Yeah. And then replies can be positive or negative, of course. If you like something, if someone says, why don't we go to Borama? You say, yeah, great. Or yeah, fine. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that sounds great. So it's a positive thing. But if you are 50-50, not like you are positive or negative, you can say, yeah, if you like. Meaning if you want to go. Yes, I don't mind. Yes. But if you are not of the idea, you can say, I think I would rather. This one is I would rather. I would rather or I would prefer to. They're the same. Borama is very far and a bit cold. I would rather go to Bosaso. I would rather go to Kenya. I would rather go to Juba. I would rather go to, that? This is a way of giving a suggestion, but saying that you don't like your idea. This other idea is better. Can I bring you some coffee? And no, thanks. I would rather have tea. You see, I would rather have tea.